Hello everyone. So today we are back with another coding problem for your TCS Ninja and TCS Digital Capability Assessment preparation, which is probably going to happen in September 2021. So this problem is a kind of good one, and you can consider it for your preparation. And it was already asked in TCS Kickoff for C language on 3rd September 2021. Okay. So the problem statement is like this, that you are given an upside down array of maximum dimension consisting of 10 to the power 6 by 10 to the power 6, and it is initialized with 0. Okay, and now you are given a variable consisting length of an array and an array of strings as input. According to this array, you are given row number and column numbers in each element of array. Okay, so this is the function. Okay, here it is the length of an array, which is according to this statement, and here an array of strings. Okay, so this is array of strings consisting of row number and column number in each element. Okay, so for example, let's consider the second element, which is 2 and 3. Okay, so here 2 is row number and 3 is the column number. Now you have to increment value of given cell range by 1, and at last you have to give count of number of cells consisting maximum value. Okay, so let's take this test case and see how this works. Okay, so initially the array is initialized with 0. Okay, now we have to take the first element, which is 1 4, where 1 is the row and 4 is the column. So this is the row and this is the column. So in between there are 4 cells. Okay, so we have to increment value of it by 1. Here it is written. Okay, we have to increment value of given cell range by 1. So cell range is for 1 to 4, there are 4 cells in range. Okay, so we have to increment it by 1. Then there was a second element 2 3, where row is 2 and column is 3. Okay, so row is 2, column is 3. So there are total 6 elements in this cell range. Okay, 6 elements. So we have to increment its value by 1. So here it was 0 initially. These 3 elements were 0. So incrementing it by 1 becomes 1. And here these 3 elements were 1 1 1. So incrementing it by 1 becomes 2 2 2. Okay. And let's take the last element, which is 4 1, where row is 4 and column is 1. So those cell range is this one. Okay. So here initially we can see this two values are 0 0. So incrementing it by 1 becomes 1. Here it was 1. So incrementing it by 1 becomes 2. And this was 2. So incrementing it by 1 becomes 3. Okay. So now the execution of this array string array is done. Now we have to go with the output. So how we can achieve the output? Here maximum value is 3, which is this one. Okay, and total number of cells consisting this maximum value is 1. Okay, because there is only one here there is only one cell which is having value 3. Okay, that's why the output of this problem is 1. Now let's consider another test case. Here also the length of array is 3 and the first element is 2 3. Initial see, this is the initial case, all the cells by initialized by 0. Now after 2 3, so this is the range 2 to 3. Incrementing it by 1 becomes 1. Okay, other cells are 0. Now second element is 3 to 6. Okay, so these many cells are there. Incrementing it by 1 becomes 1, but these 6 elements were already 1, so incrementing them by 1 becomes 2. Okay, and the final case, final case is 4 to 1. So 4 to 1 is where 4 is column, 4 is row and 1 is column. So this 4 cell range come inside this third case. So incrementing this 0 by 1 becomes 1, incrementing this 1 by 1 becomes 2, and incrementing these 2 by 1 becomes 3. Okay, now we can see that the maximum number among this cell range is 3, and total number of element consisting this maximum value are 2. Okay, that's why the output of this problem is, output of this test case is 2. And there is one another thing, that fixed length of array is not given. It means the dimension of array is not given. Here we have taken 5 by 6 array, but dimension is not given. Only maximum array size is given, which is 10 to the power 6 by 10 to the power 6. Okay, so this is how the problem is. And now please pause this video and try to come up with the solution on your own, and then look at the solution which I provide. Okay, so yeah, so pause the video and continue thinking about the solution. Yeah, so now let's discuss the solution for this problem. So when we received this problem, we thought in very generic way, without thinking logically. We tried to simply code this problem, and we were unable to solve this. But when there were 5-7 minutes left to solve this problem, my friend who was coding with me, she came up with an idea, by observing these all boxes, that answer depends on number of cells which are common for all cases. Okay, means the cells which are intersecting. Okay, now what does it mean by that? So let's consider this test case. Now here the first one is 2 3. Okay, so 2 to 3. So as of now, intersecting cells are these 6 cells. Okay, because those cells are having maximum value. Now after the second case, 3 to 6, these many cells were there, but the intersecting cells are only these 6, because these 6 cells are common for first case as well as second case. And now for the third case, these 4 cells are there for the third case, but only these 2 cells are there which are common for the third case, the second case, and the first case. So only these 2 cells are intersecting for all 3 cases. That's why output is 2. So same as for the first case. So initially the intersection is, see, for the first case the row and column value was 1 4. So these 4 cells were intersecting. For second element it was 2 3. Okay, so these many cells were there, but intersecting cells were only this much. Okay, why? Because here there were 4, so this one is not in second case. That's why these 3 elements are there, which is common for first as well as second case. And for third case, first there are 4 cells, but this particular cell is the only cell which is common or intersecting cell for this third case, second and first case. So that's why output of this problem is 1. So now how we can find this intersecting cells? So to find intersecting cell, it is very simple. See, we have to observe this array. Array is having elements as first value with row and second value with column. Okay, so we have to find minimum of row, multiply it with by minimum of column, and hence we will able to find the total number of intersecting cells. So how? Here we can see that minimum, there are row values 2, 3 and 4. Minimum of them is 2. So minimum row value is 2. Okay. Column value are 3, 6 and 1. So minimum column value is 1. Okay. So multiplying 2 by 1, answer is 2. Okay. So here we can see the output is 2. Same way, we can go for the first case. Here minimum row value is 1, because 1, 2 and 4 minimum value is 1 for row, and for column 4 3 and 1, so minimum column value is also 1. That's why 1 into 1 is 1 and output is also 1. Okay, so this is how we can approach this problem. And one another thing which I need to tell you is that, see, with this problem, actually problem setter tried to uh, away us from thinking logically, because see, they also given this kind of array with zero values in it, which is not at all needed. They wanted us to uh, they they tried to push us not think logically, and that's why we were not able to solve this problem. See, as if we go with the solution, we can see that we don't need to think about this array at all. Okay, array initialized with value 0 at all, it is not at all needed. Another case is they had given a note that it is having maximum array sizes as 3 to the power 6 by 3 to 3 sorry 10 to the power 6 by 10 to the power 6, which is not at all needed. Okay, so we need to understand sometimes problem setter tries to fool us by setting problem in this way. Even they had given that array is upside down. Okay, array is upside down, which doesn't matter at all, even if array is upside down or general array. Okay, so they try to fool us, and that's why we were unable to solve this problem. But that's why this problem also kind of cool, and that's why we are making this video. Okay, so now let's go with the code. We have written the code in Python. Okay, so in Python we have defined a function called maximizer with two input two arguments. One is length and second is input array. um, then we have taken two variables, minimum row and minimum column, initialize it with 0. It doesn't matter if even if we initialize or we not initialize, because anyway we are going to reinitialize value when i's value is 0. Okay, so yeah, now we are running a loop for I in range length. Okay, so we are running this loop till length of an array. This I will have index in it. Okay, then we have taken a variable string array, and inside that we are storing this value input array of I dot split. So initially value of I will be 0. Okay, so input array of 0 will be this 2 3. Okay, so here 3 comma this input array. So input array of 0 will be 2 3, and splitting it by and we are splitting it, it means it will split by white space. Okay, so it will remove this white space and create a new array with having string in it. Okay, now what we are doing, if I is equals to 0, we are reinitializing this minimum row and minimum column as minimum values. Okay, so this is 0th element and this is the first element. So for row we are using 0th element, for column we are using first element, and this is from string array variable. So here also we are using string element, string array, and this int is inbuilt Python function to convert this string into integer value. Okay, and then we are using else case. So when value of I is not equals to 0, we are going inside this else case. We are checking if string array of 0 means the new value which is coming, if it is less than minimum row value. If it is less than minimum row value, then we are simply reinitializing that lowest value inside minimum row. Okay, okay, because this is string array of 0. If it is having less value, then we have to store it in minimum row because we want minimum row value. Same case we are checking with minimum column. At last we are returning this minimum row, multiplying it by minimum column. Okay, so this is how this function was defined and written. Now we have taken a variable called length and we are taking input we are casting it in integer. Okay, so we are taking length of an array. Then we have taken a variable called input array. We have initialized it with empty list. Then we are running a loop for I in range length, and we are taking input. We are here appending input which is given from console. Okay, so which we will do in few moments that after. So here we are appending those value inside this array. Then we are calling this function maximizer with arguments this length, okay, as first argument, and this input array as second argument. So this maximizer function will return some integer value, okay, from here. So we are simply printing this integer value here, okay, inside this print function. So now run this code and first check the test cases which are given to us. So 1 4 2 3 4 1. Okay, so 1 4 2 3 4 1. So 1 was the expected output, and here also 1 is the output. Okay, here also 1. Now the second case 2 3 3 6 4 1 and length is 3. Okay, length is 3 2 3 3 6 4 1. Expected output is 2 and output is 2. Okay, now let's consider another case 4 10 12 12 12 10 11 11 8. Okay, now according to our approach to solving this problem, the output should be minimum of row and minimum of column. So minimum of row is 10 and minimum of column is 8. So output must be 10 into 8 is equals to 80. Okay, so output is 80. So this is how we can solve this problem. And for this particular problem, I'm uploading the code as well as this document file on GitHub. You can access it from description. And yeah, we are uploading a few new videos soon which were asked in kickoff and were really helpful for your will be really helpful for your DCA upcoming DCA exam. So thank you guys for watching our video, and happy learning. Stay tuned for new videos like this.